Hi everyone. My name is Chiko Wade. I'm the Energy Officer for Cherwell District Council. We've also got a solar PV system, which we've had for about 13 months now. So I'm going to repeat a bit of information, which I apologise for, but I suppose I want to show you 12 months on how it's performed. So we have a 14 kilowatt peak system, and it's put on one of our depots in Banbury. 14 kilowatt peak is, as I say, is how you it's measured when you're speaking to installer, but it's 78 panels. The type of panel that it is a monocrystalline, crystalline, depending on how I say it. The way this was described to me when we got this was that you have poly, mono, and hybrid, and I asked him what the difference was. He couldn't give me an answer. He said, think of a BMW, and you have a 3 series, a 5 series, and an 8 series. Sort of have a basic, quite good value for money, and then if you can afford it, go for it. But don't quote me on that. That's what he told me. Inverter, we have a Fronius inverter. As far as I'm aware, they're all very good inverters. But they won't last. The warranty won't last the lifetime of the panels. That's something to keep in mind of. Monitoring, I monitor the production of these panels on a monthly basis, and it's manual. You can get it remotely if you want to. And I just go and look at the box and tells you what we've generated that month. On the site, we were predicted to get 12,400 kilowatt hours per year, which would provide us with about just under 10% of the site's use. I sit in the climate change team. So the main driver for me was to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide that's emitted, but the only way I could have got this off the ground was if the figures made sense, the financial figures made sense. So that's the relevance of that over there. So we had a really good location for it. It was a south-facing roof, had the 30-degree pitch. There was no shading, and we had a good amount of solar potential. Sun, I'm going to now get into a field of controversy, sunlight hours or that's provided at the site in a square meter throughout the year. I believe that is around the average for the area. I suppose what you can take from this as a resident is that this was the project plan we were given. It's around 10 weeks from contract award. We have to go through various process, being a public body. But this is what installer would do. They will look at your property. They'll do a structural survey, a wind survey of your roof, plan permission. Let me speak to Rebecca about. But when they're on the site, they're not on the site for a long period of time, particularly when they're on your roof. As I said, we had 78 panels, and they were on and off the roof and connected and under 3 weeks. So it was really, really quick. And that was a year ago. Maintenance, we haven't even touched our panels in the past 13 months, and they've been producing good energy. We don't have to do anything to adhere to warranties in terms of the panels or the system, but to get the most out of the panels, we have to make sure that they're clean. They're like windows. You don't want to get them dirty. You want the light to hit the silicon. So we haven't cleaned them because they're self-cleaning. If they're at a pitch, the elements, the rain, etc., will clean them. If they're flatter, it's recommended that you just get rid of any debris that's on them. What we do need to look at is the inverter. Fortunately, touch wood, nothing's happened in the last 13 months for inverter, but we were advised to look at the inverter every 5 years, just look at the electrics of it. And I think, in not an answer to your question, but something to do with if there's a power cut, you won't be getting electricity. I think there's an isolator, as you say, because it's unsafe, and it won't be feeding into your house. So, so you can't just have free electricity, but it's for your safety. Warranties, as this industry standard, you've heard already, 90% power output for the first 10 years, and then 80% for a further 15 years, which is fantastic. Inverter warranty, 60 months, 10 years, and with Ardnam, who installed this, it was a 10-year installed system warranty. Now, we've just, so it's going to come at the end of the presentation, but we've just been through the tender process for other sites. I'd also look at the actual guarantee or warranty of the panels, because even though the production is very good, 80% over 25 years, the panels, they varied. Some were a 5-year warranty, some were 10, some were 15. So that's something to look at. And also just always keep in mind about the inverter. That is actually what's going to be generating electricity. Or converting electricity. We had many drivers to get this off the ground. It was a pilot project, as I say, from my point of view of reducing carbon dioxide. I've got a target to reduce by 20%. This helped significantly. At the time, we took advantage of opportunity. We're redoing our depot, and we thought of an eco redevelopment, improved insulation, solar PV, biomass, etc. So this is one of those projects. Community leadership, we want to be a forward-thinking local authority, fits into a lot of our strategies. Financially, it was quite a winning project despite the cost, because it was a spend to save scheme. It cost us £47,000 roughly. From the feed-in tariff income, we generated just under £4,000. We would save just under £1,000 off our electricity bill on the site, giving us a total savings of around just under £5,000. So our return on investment is 10%. Payback is, we should get payback in 10 years, and then have a further income for further 15 years, and we will save around 6 tons of carbon dioxide annually for the next 25 years. So it's stacked up quite well. So securing the feed-in tariff, this is dealing with our supplier. We received our MCS certificate from the supplier. Ardnam helped us a lot in getting that. I think they're obliged to give it to us, actually. To apply for the feed-in tariff with our supplier, it was actually quite easy because we're already with them. So it was just a 2-page form. They just wanted to know the size, if it was a new build or retro system, if we wanted an exporting meter, which we applied for. And that was, I think that was it really. It wasn't too tedious. However, it was a longer process than expected because there was number one, our meter couldn't take the size of the system, so we had to upgrade our meter. But number two, there was a backlog of applications for feed-in tariffs. Our supplier were quite kind to us, and they said they would, once our meter was sorted, that they would backdate from whatever reading we gave them then. So they gave us the energy from that. So we received our generation license April this year, so officially we're generating electricity legally. We have to provide readings 4 times throughout the year. It's via email or over the phone. It's very, very easy. And we've requested that the income pays off the electricity bill. But I think we can also get it as a check. So this is 12 months on. When I did this presentation, it was the 31st of August, which is when the system was in. We were predicted 12,435. We've actually seen 12,850. The feed-in tariff income was 3,900. We've got an extra £100 out of it. Electricity saved has been 1,200 as opposed to it was just about £1,000 that we were predicted, giving us a total saving of £5,319 as opposed to 4,900. So it's performed really well. I feel I should say this now. I don't know Sundial, I haven't worked with them, but he did mention that in this area we generate around 5% than the SAP predictions. We've generated at about 4% than predicted. So I vouch for these figures. They do the job. Average generation was around 35 kilowatts per day, but I suppose that's meaningless. So this project has been, well, obviously a success in our eyes. We've saved some money as a local authority. We're being very active on the climate change agenda, and we're trying to be a leader in the community. My superiors like the project, and now we've looked at other buildings to put solar panels on as well, because they realise the potential of them. So we're looking at about, I think, 6 other buildings now, and hopefully we'll have those in before next April. And that's it. That's me. If you have any questions.
I'll just say, as a council taxpayer, I like the project as well.
Okay, thank
you. Don't spend too much.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to thank everybody from the EcoBicester team for obviously attending today, but also for thinking outside the box and thinking what can I do for myself, but as well as the environment. I know there's been a lot of information being thrown at you today, so feel free to fill in sign-in forms downstairs. So we will actually send you a link of all the presentations, of all the videos of each presentation, and also a map that we produce where it just shows most of the properties in Bicester, and the red highlights which ones have potential to produce green electricity. So feel free to try to find your house and see if you've got potential to generate that electricity. But also do come back, have a look at what's downstairs. There's a lot of resources. We have a lot of advice that we can give you. As part of the EcoBicester team, we've produced this leaflet on what you can do in your own home to reduce your energy usage and how to become more energy efficient in a standard Bicester home. However, Claire will be downstairs and she's just launching tonight a similar leaflet but on traditional buildings, so solid walls or buildings, as well as listed buildings and buildings in a conservation area, and what you can do in those homes. So feel free to come back to the demonstration building, but also we'll send you all the information. And if you decide to go ahead and have any of these installations done, do come back and let us know, because it'll be a really good way to monitor whether some of the messages and the information that we're providing is actually getting through and if they've been successful. So I just wanted to thank you very much and thank the speakers for today. The speakers are going to stay downstairs for another 15-20 minutes, so feel free to approach them. Thank you.